Okay, so let's take a look at how you can connect Power BI with Access database. So first thing, let's take a look at if we can do this with our cloud account. Okay, so if we go to Power BI cloud, if we go to create and then choose option for files, here you can see within local files we won't be able to open this because it says this file isn't supported. Okay, it will be supported only on desktop, right? So what we can do, we will open the desktop setup. Now before that, I can show you the Access database. So here you can see I have this template of contact where I can keep on adding something like company, their title, category, personal, and business number, right? And save this and close the database, right? Now this is the database that I wish to get in Power BI. Now what we have established so far is we can not open this in cloud account, right? So we are limited to desktop version, right? So when you open that, you have option for get data. Now here you can click on more and the dialog box should appear, right? Now here within list we can select Access database. We can click on connect, then we go to that file, click open, and locally you're able to get the table, right? So if I select contacts, it should show me something, right? So we have few columns populated, right? So let's take a look at whether we can edit this particular data using transform data or simply load it as is. So if we choose to load, right, so it should import all those details, right? So once we load all those 13 rows, we can choose what to add, right? So we have to explore the field, right? And we can simply click on it. Here we can choose, let's say, ID. Instead of ID, we will just go with name, first name, and let's see then business phone, right? So if you are interested in this data, then you can work with it. If there are any sales data, you can continue to add that. So you'll be able to use this information like their name, their phone, and their sales, and then project that particular data. Currently I have only contact database for you to show here. So if you have any other data from Access, you would be able to get it for your own use case as well. Now that you have this particular data, you can do one more thing, is you can publish this, right? So if I want to publish, I will just save it and give it a name demo for the time being. Once published, it will be taken to our cloud, right, with this workspace, right? So it is sending that data, this .pbix file, right? It should be available in our cloud. So click got it. Now let's go to the cloud account and then we will refresh this. Let's try to find out if it has managed to do anything. So my workspace, within that I have this particular report just generated. As you can see, I have already got those two things which I added within my desktop setup. one being this name and then business phone, right? This was just for the sake of demonstration, but you get the idea. You go to your workspace, then you find all the specific data. Now what will happen if you remove this from your desktop, right? This .pbix file which is in desktop, you can remove it and you can then later remove from here as well. So for that you will have to remove the report and dataset, right? So delete here, then again delete here. Once you delete these two things, you can refresh, right? And then go to your main home page, right? After that you can simply exit out and don't save these details. Right, now that you deleted those things from the cloud, next time you publish it again, you will have to save your changes, then let it publish, then again it should appear within your workspace and will be listed here. So you get the flow here. Basically what we'll do is you will first get the access data on your desktop, right, or whichever folder you want. Then make sure to get this into your Power BI desktop, and then you can do your reports and publish it so that it will be available in cloud version, right? Then at the time of deletion, make sure to delete first from the cloud and then you can delete it from desktop if you want. Okay, as you know, we can't import the MDB file directly into Power BI Cloud, right? So the method was always to go from Power Desktop to Cloud. But in this case right now, where we have some data or report, we'll have to publish from desktop, right? So let's say if I want to create, right? So let me go to Power BI desktop and want to take particular data from this access file and I want to process that, right? So I'm picking up the source from get data and let's wait for that pop-up to appear, right? So access file, I will have to connect and I will do search for that, and once we point it out, we'll be able to import those rows. Here we have this particular table work order will have around thousands of rows to check, right? So we'll have to load it. Right, as you can see, it is loading the data and its respective model, right? Then we'll have to check the fields where it completely loads, right? And we can select that particular data and we'll also build a visual here, right? So for building the visual, what we can do is simply select one of the data parts, something like, let's say, our work date, our part, cost and payments, right? And then we'll come to the column chart, we'll feed it the data, like let's say date, then payments, right? And you can populate with other data as well and make sure to get that here. Now once we publish this, we'll have to save this, then that PBIX file will appear and then it will be loaded. The same applies for our reports as well. Report and visualization, whichever you pick, it will follow the same process where you have to first go through Power BI desktop, then get those things on cloud. Okay, one more thing to add here is that when you get the data, make sure to get it through Access database and use the file here, right? So you use this particular, then connect to it, then pick the file, go through that process. You also have enter data option where you can simply copy paste the data which is tabular, but in case of taking it from your Access to here, often some field may not work properly if there is an encoding, so a lot of times those error may appear, right? So if you are trying to do something like that, I suggest you better avoid that, because it would only lead to those UTF-8 or some other errors which are specific to encoding, right? So if you are importing that particular data from Access file, make sure to just get the data and choose Access, right? Because that would save you a lot of issues related to encoding as you are importing the data from file directory instead of using copy paste.